Welcome to Bears News Fan Report, your #1 destination for breaking updates, exclusive insights, and all the latest developments surrounding our Chicago Bears. I've got something brewing today that could completely reshape how we think about this offense moving into next season. This isn't just another player movement speculation. This is about addressing our biggest weakness, with a solution that's been tormenting us twice a year, and the possibility of flipping the script in the NFC North in a way that would send shockwaves through the entire division. Stick with me because what I'm about to break down could be the most exciting offensive addition we've seen in years. You know, sometimes in this league, opportunity presents itself in the most unexpected ways. We spend all season watching certain players destroy our secondary, watching them make plays that leave us wondering why we can't have weapons like that. And then suddenly circumstances align, contracts expire, team dynamics shift, and a player who seemed untouchable becomes available. That's exactly the situation I'm tracking right now. And if Ryan Poles and this front office are paying attention, they have a golden opportunity to make a move that would instantly upgrade our receiving core while simultaneously weakening our biggest rival. Let me set the stage for you. The Bears are coming off another season where our passing attack struggled to find consistency. We've got talent at quarterback, we've invested in the offensive line, but we're still missing that explosive element on the outside. We need a receiver who can stretch the field vertically, who can win contested catches, who can turn a simple crossing route into a house call because of pure speed and athleticism. We need someone who forces defenses to respect the deep ball and opens up everything underneath for our other weapons. Sound familiar? It should, because we've been torched by exactly that type of player for years. Now, before I reveal who I'm talking about, let me walk you through why this makes so much sense from a strategic standpoint. The Bears are entering a critical offseason where every decision matters. We have cap space to work with, we have draft capital, and we have a young core that's one or two pieces away from being genuinely competitive in this division. Ryan Poles has shown he's not afraid to be aggressive when the right opportunity presents itself. He's proven he can identify talent, negotiate smart contracts, and build through multiple avenues. This situation checks every single box for the kind of move that could accelerate our timeline. Think about what we're missing right now. DJ Moore has been solid, but he needs help. Rome Odunze is developing nicely as a rookie, but he's still learning the NFL game. Keenan Allen brought veteran presence, but he's not the long-term answer at this stage of his career. We need someone in their prime, someone with proven production, someone who can step in on day one and immediately command attention from opposing defensive coordinators. We need a true #1 receiver who can take over games when everything else breaks down. Here's where things get really interesting. There's a receiver in this division who fits that description perfectly. He's been a consistent threat for years, he's shown he can produce at a high level, and most importantly, his contract situation might be creating an opening for a team like ours to swoop in and make something happen. I'm talking about Christian Watson from the Green Bay Packers, and before you dismiss this as impossible, hear me out on why this could actually become reality. Watson is currently listed as questionable for this week's matchup against us with a chest injury, but that's not what has my attention. What has my attention is the bigger picture surrounding his situation in Green Bay. The Packers have a crowded receiver room with multiple players dealing with injuries and contract situations that need to be addressed. Matthew Golden, Savion Williams, Dontavian Wicks, Josh Weil, and Jaden Reed are all on the injury report or dealing with various issues. Green Bay is going to have some tough decisions to make about who they keep and who they let walk when contracts come up. Let me give you Watson's production numbers from this season because they tell a compelling story. He's got 481 receiving yards on 28 catches with 5 touchdowns, averaging 60.1 yards per game. Those are solid numbers, but here's what makes them even more impressive. Look at his game log from the last 8 weeks. Against the Steelers, he had 4 catches for 85 yards. Against the Panthers, 2 catches for 58 yards. Against the Eagles, 2 for 45. Then he exploded against the Giants with 4 catches for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns. Against the Vikings, 5 catches for 49 yards. Against the Lions, 4 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. And here's the one that should terrify us. Against the Bears, in Week 14, he caught 4 passes for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let that sink in for a moment. Christian Watson torched our defense for 89 yards and 2 scores just a few weeks ago. He's the exact type of player who gives us nightmares, and he's going to be doing it again this Saturday night when we face Green Bay. But instead of dreading what he's going to do to us, imagine for a second what it would look like if he was wearing a Bears uniform. Imagine Watson lining up opposite DJ Moore. Imagine the matchup problems that creates. Imagine Caleb Williams having that kind of weapon to work with on the outside. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Why would Green Bay ever let a player like Watson come to a division rival? That's a fair question, and under normal circumstances, it wouldn't happen. But these aren't normal circumstances. The Packers have salary cap considerations to manage. They have multiple receivers who need new contracts, and they have to make decisions about where to allocate their resources. If Watson's asking price gets too high, if Green Bay decides they can't afford to keep everyone, suddenly he becomes available. And when a talented receiver from a division rival hits the market, that's when Ryan Poles needs to pounce. The financial side of this makes sense, too. Watson is still on his rookie contract, which means acquiring him wouldn't require breaking the bank initially. The Bears could structure a deal that's team-friendly while still giving Watson the long-term security he deserves. We have the cap flexibility to make this work without sacrificing other areas of need. And think about the message it would send to the rest of the league. The Bears are serious about building a championship-caliber offense, and we're willing to make bold moves to get there. From a scheme-fit perspective, Watson would be perfect for what Luke Getsy and this coaching staff want to do. He's got the speed to stretch the field vertically, he's physical enough to win on contested catches, and he's shown he can work in multiple receiver sets. He's not just a deep threat. He can run the full route tree, he can work the intermediate game, and he's willing to block in the run game. That versatility is exactly what you want in a modern NFL receiver, and it's exactly what we need to complement the weapons we already have. Let me paint the picture of what this offense could look like with Watson in the fold. You've got DJ Moore on one side, Watson on the other, Rome Oduns working from the slot, and Cole Kmet at tight end. That's a legitimate group of pass catchers that can attack defenses in multiple ways. You can run 4 verticals and stress the deep safety. You can work levels concepts and create natural picks. You can spread teams out and run the ball with DeAndre Swift and Khalil Herbert. Suddenly, offensive coordinators around the league have to game plan differently for the Bears because we have the personnel to hurt you in so many different ways. The psychological impact of stealing a player from Green Bay can't be overlooked either. This rivalry runs deep, and making a move like this would shift the power dynamic in the division. It would show that the Bears are no longer content to be the little brother in the NFC North. It would demonstrate that we're willing to be aggressive, that we're willing to take talent wherever we can find it, and that we're building something special in Chicago. That kind of statement move energizes the fan base, it energizes the locker room, and it puts the rest of the division on notice. I want to be realistic about the challenges here. Convincing Watson to leave Green Bay for Chicago isn't automatic. He's been with the Packers his entire career. He has relationships there, and leaving a successful organization is never easy. But the Bears can offer him things Green Bay might not be able to match. We can offer him a prominent role in the offense from day one. We can offer him a long-term contract that provides financial security. We can offer him the chance to be part of building something new and exciting with a young quarterback who's only going to get better. Those are compelling selling points that could absolutely sway a player who's looking at his options. The timing of all this matters too. We're heading into an offseason where the receiver market is going to be active. Multiple teams need help at the position, and the supply of elite talent is limited. If Watson becomes available, There will be competition for his services. That's why the Bears need to be proactive, need to have a plan in place, and need to be ready to move quickly when the opportunity presents itself. Ryan Poles has shown he can operate efficiently in these situations, and I trust that if Watson is genuinely available, we'll be in the mix. Here's my honest assessment of how likely this is to happen. It's not a lock by any means. There are obstacles to overcome, negotiations to navigate, and competing interests to manage. But it's also not as far-fetched as it might seem on the surface. Green Bay has decisions to make, Watson has a contract situation to resolve, and the Bears have the resources and motivation to make something happen. If all those factors align, we could absolutely see Christian Watson in a Bears uniform next season. And that would be a game-changing addition to this offense. So, let me bring this all together. The Bears need a dynamic receiver who can stretch the field and create explosive plays. Christian Watson is exactly that type of player, and his situation in Green Bay might create an opening for us to make a move. The financial side works, the scheme fit is perfect, and the competitive advantage of taking a weapon away from a division rival is significant. This is the kind of bold strategic move that winning organizations make, and I believe Ryan Poles has the vision and the courage to pull it off if the opportunity presents itself. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you be excited to see Christian Watson in a Bears uniform? Do you think Ryan Poles should pursue him aggressively if he becomes available? How would you feel about taking a key player away from the Packers and using him to strengthen our own offense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I'm genuinely curious how the fan base feels about this possibility. If you enjoyed this deep dive analysis, if you appreciate the insider perspective and strategic thinking we bring to every video, make sure you subscribe to Bears News Fan Report and hit that notification bell. We're covering every angle of this team, every potential move, every development that matters to Bears fans. Share this video with your fellow fans who need to understand what could be coming this offseason. Leave a like if you want to see Watson in Chicago, and let's build this community together. Until next time, bear down and keep believing in what we're building here. The future is bright, and moves like this could make it even brighter. See you in the next one.